Hello guys, Crispy here and welcome back to another Sunday video. In this one, my friends, we are gonna be testing the Legend RX 570 8GB model in 2023. Now this one is the Asrock Phantom Gaming Edition of the card, and I just noticed we got a little peel here. Oh yes. The RX 570 was a mid-range GPU back when it released in 2017, based on the GCN 4.0 architecture, 14nm node, and Polaris 20 GPU. And you know what's interesting about it? It released for 169 nice US dollars. Like you can't even get the low-end stuff these days, like the 3050 for example, for that low anymore. It's so sad, man. And this was a pretty capable mid-range-ish GPU back then. It also has 2048 shading units, 8GB of GDDR5 in this model. There is also a 4GB model of the 570 and a 256-bit memory bus. That's more than we get with a 4070 Ti. I should be crying, actually. Finally, power consumption-wise, it consumes 150 watts, which, you know, it isn't that high, but back in 2017, it lost in that department compared to the 10 series GPUs from NVIDIA. The 1060 was a 120-watt GPU, and the 1070, which was way faster than 570 here, consumed the same as this card. Still, this was tremendous value, and let's find out how it does 6 years later in 2023, shall we? It's desktop time. Let's go over the PC specs and the driver version and so on. We got the latest drivers installed, of course, on this 570. I'm leaving it at stock, not overclocking it manually, okay? And over in Tech Power-Ups GPU-Z, you can see all of the GPU specs. By the way, it is running at 3.0 right there, as you can see. And over on the left, we're pairing it with a Ryzen 7 5800X 3D and 32GB of RAM to avoid CPU bottlenecks. Let's go. First up is the super popular Call of Duty Warzone 2. We're playing this one at 1080p resolution with 100% resolution scale. Fidelity FX is enabled. That sharpens up the image a little bit. It looks nicer. And the minimum settings possible here, aside from textures, which are set to low. Alright guys, some people are dropping here in Zarqwa Hydroelectric with us. Can we get a weapon? Oh yes, thank you so much. Finally a weapon right away. Gonna start counting the FPS. This is one of the most intensive areas in the entire map, by the way. So if you don't come to the Zarqwa's Hydroelectric, your FPS won't drop this far, especially if you stay away from water, which is the most intensive thing in this game. As you can see, it can drop into like the high 40s at times, which is not terrible, you know. It's still a playable experience for sure, but just not a competitive one. You can definitely have fun though, so that's great for the RX 570, of course. Standing over here, taking a look at this beautiful water, actually. It's looking nice. It kind of drops from 60 FPS sometimes, but it's okay. Again, guys, it is a playable experience for sure. Also, you can see a ton of frame time issues in the frame time graph. It's not smooth whatsoever, and the 1% lows are at 25 because of it, but I can tell you that actually playing the game, it doesn't feel stuttery. It's how Warzone 2 runs. I don't know why it does this, but it's like this in every single GPU, even in high-end ones, you know? Almost 69 FPS on average. That's actually quite decent. Let's go to this water right here once again. 50s. If you really want like the competitive experience, you can always drop the resolution to like 720p or use FSR in this game, which won't really look that great because it's FSR 1.0. But yeah, it will definitely improve your FPS, and around this area with a lot of vegetation, which is also pretty intensive, it's not even dropping from 60. There's a guy over here, guys. Come on. Oh, there we go. We actually got a kill. Nice. Okay, we're doing this. Did you have like some decent armor? Nope. Oh, damn it. We're screwed now. Some camper got us. There he is. It's playable. Let's move on. Next is Elden Ring at 1080p using the high settings with no motion blur, and this one provides us a pretty decent 30 plus FPS experience, I guess, all of the time. I am making my way to this forest area right here, which drops the FPS by quite a bit, and then we're gonna fight a little bit of a dragon a little bit, an actual drag, and see our FPS drop with the fire effects and stuff like that, which is also super, super intensive. Now, what I'm seeing here is quite decent, guys. We got some nice graphics on high settings and some decent frame rates. It's totally playable. If you want to get 60 FPS, you can always drop it to medium or low settings. I would prefer high settings. At least it looks way better than medium and low for sure. Let's just get to the dragon, shall we, my friends? So far, so good. It didn't really drop from 40, did it? Maybe slightly in the forest, but that's it. Super stable, actually. Over in an open area like this one, we get 50s, close to 60 FPS. By the way, this game is kept to 60 frames per second. That's why I chose the high settings as well, just to showcase the GPU at 99% usage. But yeah, again, you can get those 60 if you lower the settings. Where are you, Roach? Why did you leave? Oh my god. Alright, so good, so good. Let's just hit him. Hit the bastard in the legs. There we go. There we go. Oh yes, this is working, kind of, I guess. Oh, okay. Alright, here comes the fire, guys. Here comes the fire. There we go. This is super intensive as well. I'm gonna die. Yeah, that was really quick. But it didn't drop. Next is Cyberpunk 2077 at 1080p resolution using the medium settings with medium textures and quality FSR 2.1, which looks so close to native resolution in this game that I really recommend you guys to utilize it, especially with the 570. Medium crowd density as well. Oh yes, look at that. Really nice FPS. It's not 60, of course, but I wasn't really expecting 60. This game is super, super intensive, and it looks amazing here on medium settings and 1080p with FSR and the RX 570. It's doing a really nice job here. I would totally choose these settings, these exact same settings, to play this game with if I had a 570 as my main GPU. Yes, it isn't perfect. Again, guys, sometimes this game can be like a first-person shooter and you will need to shoot things, of course. Bye, Bob, by the way. Now, this roundabout here is pretty intensive and it's only dropping to like the lower 40s, maybe higher 30s, worst case scenario. But you know what? It runs, and it runs pretty well. No stuttering issues either, and I think for these graphics, it's totally acceptable performance for the RX 570 8GB model. We're approaching one of the most demanding streets right now, and it's still getting 40s here. It should drop into the 30s, I think, in just a little bit. No, it didn't drop. All right, I'm impressed, actually. It's so stable. Oh yeah, and I want to touch on something that I find really weird, that GPU utilization in this game in particular is not maxed out. It hovers around 90% usage. I don't know why that happens. I remember it in my first RX 570 Cyberpunk video getting the same usage on a totally different system. So they apparently haven't really fixed that for RX 500 series GPUs here. Next is the newly released Dead Space Remake, and this one is super intensive. We're playing it with FSR 2 on quality, which looks really good in this game, low graphics settings, or the low preset, this is still on medium, and the 1080p resolution. Now this first scene here is super, super intensive and in no way, shape or form indicative of the experience that you're gonna have inside of the tunnels of that space and stuff like that, the closed areas, you know. But it's a good benchmark, and we can see it dropping into the 20s. Also, I gotta mention that this game stutters a lot, so those 1% lows are pretty terrible because of it. Alright, getting 40s, 50 frames per second right here. Way better than previously, right? That's way better than 20s. And this area right here is also really intensive compared to inside of the space station or whatever this is. So now it suddenly became playable, as you can see. I think for a single-player title, it's certainly passable, right? Oh my goodness. The stutters when moving into new areas are insane. Okay, now that we are inside, everything is much, much smoother, as you can see, even reaching 60 frames per second. Look at that. And this is where you're going to spend most of your time in this game. So you can expect like a 40 plus FPS experience using these settings, which is completely fine I remember over here it was slightly more intensive. Yeah, getting 40s. Again, it is not great, but it's passable. It's playable. Next was going to be Forspoken, another 2023 title. Yes, this is the demo. I won't pay 80 euros for this crap. And if you select play there, it's gonna open the game, but then if you get to the menu, it just crashes completely, guys. I think, yeah, it already crashed. That happens because this GPU doesn't support DirectX 12 feature level 1, only 0, as you can see right there, and this game requires feature level 1. Next is the beautiful and super well optimized Forza Horizon 5. We're playing this one at 1080p using TAA and the high graphics preset. And this is just, it's gonna be a buttery smooth experience basically, while looking really, really nice at the same time. I just love Forza Horizon 5 for its optimization. Every single time I play this game, it doesn't disappoint. Even on stuff like the GTX 670, for example. Well, that didn't launch the game, actually. But back when Kepler could actually run this game, it was playable, even on like the GTX 660 and 760 and so on. I tested those cards, I believe. Also, the game is buttery smooth. I've seen a couple of stutters when I started the game for the first like 10 seconds or so, but now it's just flawless. It's completely flawless. Look at this. It's so damn smooth compared to everything that we tested today so far. This is definitely the smoothest thing that we've seen here. It's only dropping into the lower 60s around here. Surprisingly, there are no cars driving around here. What the hell? I have never seen it this empty, honestly. Where are all of the cars? Like, usually there are more cars here and it drops the FPS slightly more. We're still not dropping from 60 FPS, but it will now, as you can see. Yeah, tunnel areas, as I told you, are the most intensive ones. It drops even into the 40s, but nothing to worry about. It's only for a split second anyways. Now it's Battlefield 2042, 1 FPS just shy. Why? Why did you go past 69 that fast? What the heck, game? Come on. It's not gonna be good. 1080p using the low settings here. Let's start counting the FPS right now. Seems like it's gonna be quite a playable experience, but the game is more intensive now than it was back when I last tested the RX 570 on it. I was getting like 70 FPS average in the same map. It was in the beta though, so probably just it has become more intensive, you know. Alright, let's see what we can do here. 1 kill. Let's throw a grenade in that direction. Ooh, reload. Can I get my boy over here? Let's go. Let's go. We can do this. Oh yes. Throw a smoke out. Yep, come on. There we go. Throw another smoke out there so they don't see us, and take care of these guys over here. Nice. Double kill right there. A little bit of a stutter as well, but not a problem. Game is very playable indeed. Let's see. Are they pushing? No, I don't think so. Oh, wait a second. Oh, come on, guys. Oh, yes. This is great. Oh, damn it. Let's push them bastards. Throw the smokes out again. Come on, buddy. I got you. I got you. This guy's on an RX 5700 XT overclocked. Let's go. We can do this. Am I doing better than him? Yes, I am. See, guys, you can play the game absolutely fine with these FPS. Yeah, it's a first-person shooter. Yeah, it would be great to have 60-plus FPS all of the time. But that doesn't mean that it is a bad experience like this. In Battlefield, there isn't really much input lag. It's broken field, guys. I am running. I'm actually sprinting at the moment. For some reason, it's... Oh, my God. Will this fix it? Nope. Okay, I will sprint like this forever then. It seems like it's still in beta, you know? Push them bastards, guys. Let's push them bastards. I'm gonna get you, boy. I am gonna get you, boy. No. Oh, they're everywhere. Oh my gosh. All right, now in that scenario, I think the FPS, the 50-ish FPS hindered my experience a little bit because I couldn't really swap to the other target fast enough. Next we have Stutter Night, and this one is being played at 1080p using DirectX 12 and the low settings, and it's surprisingly, for somebody out there that doesn't really pay too much attention to FPS and stuff, it is actually running really well on the RX 570. This old GPU can still output a high refresh rate experience in Fortnite or Stutter Night, whatever you want to call it. You know, I like to call it stutter night, but so far we haven't. Oh, there we go. First stutter of the day, aside from when I was dropping and the lobby and so on. Also, if you want to be competitive at the game, I recommend these settings using DirectX 12 API instead of the performance mode, because you will likely be CPU bound when using performance mode in this game. And this can actually utilize the CPU way better than that performance mode API, whatever they're using there. Not to mention that this runs way smoother using the X12 than the X11 or performance mode, because that stutters quite a bit. All right, let's go. There's the guy over here. Nice. First kill of the day, very good. Let's keep on moving. Are you kidding me, guys? We're gonna get the ultimate weapon of doom. Oh, yes. There he is. All right, there we go. No need to use the ultimate weapon yet, guys. We got another kill. This is great. You might be wondering why we're playing Fortnite. It's a 2017 title, and it's a 2023 video, you know. Well, it's because this is constantly being updated, and now we actually have the Unreal Engine 5.1. Which is pretty nice to take a look at, of course. Okay, it's time, guys. It's time. It's time to do this! Boy, you dead! Oh, yes. Wait a second, how are you not dead? Oh, they changed the ultimate weapon of doom. Okay, that's what happened. It was too OP previously. I could kill just about everyone with it. Now I cannot. Wait a second. There's a guy over there. There we go. Come on. We can do this, right? He's missing everything. Next is Red Dead Redemption 2, still super amazing looking title. 1080p resolution using the Xbox One X settings without FSR 2.0 first, and then we're gonna test FSR in just a little bit. Alright, here we go. We're in Saint Denis to start this off, and we're just below 60 frames per second. Sometimes it actually reaches 60, as you can see. It's feeling really smooth, actually. And you only need like 30 frames per second, to be honest, to play Red Dead Redemption 2 properly. A ton of people enjoyed the hell out of this game at 30 FPS and never complained about it on the PS4 and PS4 Pro and Xbox One and Xbox One X. And with these settings, it looks absolutely amazing. Super detailed, lighting looks awesome, the shadows and everything. I mean, this is just such an amazing looking game, guys. And it plays wonderfully here on the RX 570. Can he jump this fence over here? Let's find out. Oh boy, please, Roach. Oh, thank you so much. Okay, this is great. So now we're seeing a bit more vegetation on screen, and the FPS are still the same as in the big city, you know. It's looking really good. A bit noisy, actually, around Arthur there. Now, what they recently introduced in the game is FSR 2.0, so we're gonna test that out on quality, and this should make the FPS a lot better, I hope. I can tell that it's a little bit softer and maybe slightly noisier as well, you know. It was already noisy at native resolution, but now it's just a little bit more noticeable, and instead of getting like higher 50s in this area, we're in the 60s, so it improves the smoothness factor a little bit in this game, but I wouldn't really use it. It can still drop from 60 FPS, and we only gained about like 5 frames. I thought the difference in performance would be massive by enabling FSR, but it isn't, so I think I would stick with native res. It's a little bit cleaner of an image. Now I'm playing Overwatch 2 at 1080p using 100% resolution scale and the ultra settings, and this game runs buttery smooth. Gonna start counting the frames here. Okay, there we go. Oh boy, people, do we have healing, guys? Do we have healers? Yes, we do. Please, where's my healer at? Where is my healer? Come on, guys. I'm 7 HP. Oh no, I got this new guy over here. I have no clue what he does. What the hell is that? What did I just throw? I have no idea what I'm... What? Okay, I put a barrier right there. Are you serious? Oh, damn it. Okay. All right, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Punch them bastards. There we go. That's very intensive, actually. And we could handle that absolutely fine with the RX 570. Also, if you require more FPS than these... Oh, my. Okay, wait. Come on, come on. Guys, help. I am the turret boy. I am very useful for my team. If you want even higher FPS for a super high refresh rate experience, you can still have it on low settings. This game runs like butter, basically. It's already running like butter, honestly, but you can get insane FPS here, and that goes for like Valorant, CSGO, Rainbow Six Siege, esports titles basically will run absolutely fine on something like the RX 570. But I'm not testing those games because they're like older titles. Next we have Spider-Man Miles Morales at 1080p resolution using TAA, no FSR because it looks pretty bad in this one, medium settings preset here, and yeah, that's it. Let's see how it performs. 40s. That's not bad, but this isn't really a very intensive area, so it might actually drop quite a bit. The good thing is, again, this is a single-player title, so it can be played. Even with the 30 FPS lock, it will be absolutely fine. This is consistently above like 40 FPS all over the time. No stutters to speak of, although I can see some frame time spikes there in the graph. But no worries, those aren't really noticeable here. Oh yes, it's feeling pretty smooth actually. And over here, where things get a little bit more intensive, especially with these fog effect, well, not fog, smoke effects. Yeah, it actually drops into the 30s sometimes, but no issues, guys, no worries, basically. This is gonna be perfectly playable on a 570 still. You do need the 8GB version of the card to achieve these FPS, because it's using almost 6GB of our VRAM there. Let's get to the next one now. Next is Dying Light 2 at 1080p using FSR2 on quality, which with 100% sharpness actually looks better in this game than native resolution. It's a little bit soft at native res, and we're using the default low settings preset here. And here we are. I'm gonna start counting our FPS. The on-screen display is a bit different. We're not using MSI Afterburner anymore because it's not working in this title, and it's looking really good, guys. Like, the low settings preset looks way better than the very low settings preset. Way better shadows and lighting effects and stuff like that. And right now, it's not looking that great because of the rain effects. Like, I really don't like that all over my screen, making things pretty soft sometimes. But, well, it's realistic, I guess, maybe, if you were using goggles or something. Can we go there? Thank you. Let's continue here. We're getting right around 60 frames per second, which is quite nice. The average is at 61. No stuttering issues, by the way. It feels really great. What the hell are you doing? Oh my gosh. It is the broken light, my friends. Did that one just fall from there? All right, sir. I'm really curious. What's gonna happen if I... Well, he's dead. Yeah, okay, of course. What was I expecting, right? For a single-player title, a couple of drops from 60 frames per second isn't really the end of the world. I think since it actually gets above 60 FPS on average and it doesn't stutter, it's great. Oh, look how beautiful that beard is. Oh boy. So this is God of War, obviously. We're playing it at 1080p using no FSR and the original setting. Oh, there's a little frog right here. I never noticed this. Look at that. How gorgeous. Oh, I also never noticed this. Thank you for guiding me, kind frog. Beautiful stuff. What did we get? This, like, there are also more things over there, okay? Anyways, these FPS are totally playable for God of War. It's super enjoyable at even like 30 FPS. Once again, a ton of people played it all the way through at 30 frames per second, so you won't really have any issues getting 30 plus all of the time, basically. There's gonna be a super intensive cutscene in just a little bit with some depth of field effects and stuff. They really did a great job with the visuals in this one, and optimization is also pretty okay-ish. This is the cutscene that I was telling you about. Oh my god, it gets 30 FPS minimum there, so it can drop by quite a bit in intensive scenarios, guys, but it doesn't drop from 30 FPS, so that's absolutely fine. Interestingly, that cutscene drops the FPS in pretty much all of the GPUs out there, aside from the RTX 40 series cards from NVIDIA. Maybe they're just more optimized to run some of the effects there. All right, we got a little bit of a fight going on right now. Some more effects on screen. still pretty much the same thing, you know, it doesn't really move too much. So yeah, the cutscenes with the depth of field are definitely the most intensive thing you'll come across. Now we're playing Need for Speed Unbound at 1080p using the low settings preset with 100% resolution scale. And as you can see, we got the same problem as Cyberpunk 2077. The GPU is not fully utilized in this game either. That's really weird. I don't know what's going on with that, guys. It just makes no sense to me. But anyways, if you want to play some Need for Speed Unbound, you know, I've had some fun in this one, honestly, even though people give it a lot of crap, you know, and bad reviews. At least it runs pretty well here. It's definitely a playable experience. You also have some FSR2 in this game, which is kind of terrible, actually, because it has some huge ghosting effects, so I don't recommend you guys to utilize that. But it does a fine job here, even at native resolution, so that's fine. I can't see anything, dude. It's so dark. I guess that's very realistic, though, so okay. The races in this game don't really drop your FPS by much, by the way. Usually it gets the lowest FPS inside of forest areas, but since we're playing on low settings, it doesn't have a ton of vegetation anyways. God damn it. So it doesn't drop too much. And lastly, I got 2021's Far Cry 6 at 1080p using the medium settings and FSR 1.0 set to ultra quality. This actually sharpens up the image a little bit, and once again, this game is really soft at native resolution, and I think it looks better with FSR. Yes, we ruined the speakers. Nice. We don't have any more copyrighted music. Oh boy, but there are a ton of them. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Please. Oh, I don't have ammo on this. What the hell? Why not? All right, I got a pistol still. Let's get these bastards. All of them, please. Nice. Oh, we got Croco Jack right here. That's right. I totally forgot about him, guys. It's beautiful, boy. Yeah. Also, we should probably destroy these things, right? Oh, yes. Come on. Let me see the huge explosion. They got Croco Jack, by the way. We gotta kill them bastards. Oh, that wasn't a huge explosion. That was really underwhelming. We got a ton of health, actually. I'm just noticing it. I can just run around like a clueless person, which I am. Exploding things and stuff. Look at that. Even with the explosion, it looks great, and it doesn't drop. Oh, that's an actual crocodile, not Crocojack. Crocojack, come over here, boy. Everything's all right. Protect me, boy. There we go. That's my boy. More explosions. I don't care if this is a friendly base now. I want to see them explosions and fire effects. Oh, yes. Not an issue, my friends. This is very nice. And it is finally conclusion time, my friends. The RX 570 still packs a little bit of a punch today. You know, can still play games at 1080p, low settings with above 30 FPS all of the time. Aside from, like, Dead Space, which is a super intensive title. And back in 2020, when I last reviewed the RX 570, I called it the budget GPU king. It was capable of playing a ton of games, pretty much everything back then, at least at 1080p medium settings with 60 FPS or higher. In 2023, well, obviously, it's starting to show its age quite a bit, you know, especially in the more demanding AAA titles, but it can still play them at 1080p, low settings at least above 30 frames per second, and I think that's quite impressive for what this is. But yeah, I could still recommend an RX 570 for a budget gamer that doesn't want to spend more than like $80 on a GPU, even in 2023. Be sure to check the cooler if there's no rust on it or corrosion, and make sure that it was well taken care of, because it has sustained 2 mining seasons, you know, so it could be on its last legs when you buy one of these. So that's been it. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys in the next one very soon. As always, love you all. Bye-bye.